Yo, low volume, low volume. Turn it up. Turn all the way up. Turn up. What we looking at right now, man? This is DBZen. What is it doing? It's doing what we said it's going to do. It's been going up for too many days. It's been going up for too many days. It's been going up for too many days. Had to have a little pullback today. Been going up for too many days. What's up, y'all? What up, Zen enthusiasts? What up, Bud Green, a.k.a. Zenzel Washington, a.k.a. Zenjamin Button? Oh, it's hump day. What up, bro? What up, Rolando? What up, Lita? In order to set up an X1 node, what's Rolando saying real quick? He said, I'm trying to open up a Contabo or Contabo VPS to end git bash command line, but I had to reset the password. Apparently I gotta wait 10 minutes. I'm writing down all these steps. Tutorial video coming soon. Rolando. It sounds like Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is in this bitch. Nah, I feel like Morgan Freeman is like a real artist, right? So this motherfucker, he's like a Dave Chappelle where they smoke cigarettes. Now I don't smoke cigarettes, so I don't have the rasp of that kind of artistic vibe, but shout outs to everybody with that rasp. Yeah, damn, look at this motherfucking DXN chart. But what's up, y'all? Yo, what up, world? What up, YouTube? How's it going, internet land? This is your boy Crypto Bruh, aka Mo World Peace, the DJ / producer. Yes, sir, that's what I do. I am an IRL character that happens to just pop into your fucking computer screen sometimes. Like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? We streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on X. That's what we do daily, Monday through Friday, talking Zen world and the cryptocurrency market in its instance of being existent, right? Shit exists, bruh. So, yeah, man, it's Wednesday. It's January 10th. Just like the fucking title says today, man, the SEC don't pump faked. They don't pull the Michael Vick on the whole crypto industry. Everyone is in shock right now. Personally, I'm not. I'm like, yo, this is supposed to happen. What's wild to me though is, again, if you watched the stream yesterday, I pointed out some key esoteric things, right? And this is a weird ass reality, especially when you live on the motherboard like a real crypto motherfucker, right? So if you live in on the motherboard, you shouldn't be too surprised because, again, most of the movements in finance are programmed, right? They're programs. And the way they're programmed is by using human behavior and human emotion to push people in directions that the market wants to go. So I actually heard Gary Gensler. We're going to listen to it right now. Look at Gary. We're going to listen to Gary, kind of try to explain himself because he came out with something today. Here, let's listen in. Let's listen in. What does this motherfucker say?
I don't know what I'm doing or saying. My wife dressed me this morning and wiped my ass after I took a pooey poo, and I'm so disoriented that I might just have to resort to screaming and yelling to create the illusion that I comprehend what the heck I'm doing.
Eat shit, Gary. You are a loser. You always lose. And the American people are tired of it. Frankly, I'm tired of it. Crypto is getting ready to deploy spot ETFs, and you're still sitting there sucking your thumb, wondering if Satoshi is a mermaid or a tulip.
Bitch. Yo, Gary Gensler is ridiculous. So first things first, man, I cannot believe this is real life. What happened yesterday? I'm just chilling, finishing The Sopranos. You know what I'm saying? I happened to just randomly pick that shit up like in December. You know, like I need something to watch. Everybody talked about it in my childhood, so I picked it up. And I finished it yesterday. And in the middle of me finishing the last couple episodes of the series, the SEC pulled some mafia shit. It was almost like the whole Matrix was lining up for me to realize, like, man, this whole game is rigged AF. Now, what's funny is, again, these guys are saying, hey, our X account was compromised. You know, we didn't have 2FA set up. So this is a healthy reminder. Make sure you set up your 2FA. So the way you do that is in the settings of your X account, you will find privacy and safety. When you go into privacy and safety, you can set up your 2FA, which is an authenticator. so that you can protect your login outside of just email. I'm still very surprised. I'm very surprised. That's the one thing I'm super surprised on, is that the SEC had the balls to say they were hacked because they didn't have 2FA. That is like a high schooler saying they got an F in class because they couldn't stop paying attention to like their friends, it's just something that's super bullshit. Like there's a level of bullshit, and the bullshit that I smell here is out of control. And what this did to the market was it did provide that manipulation that was needed to kind of drive it in whatever direction it's trying to go. So a lot of people now, again, FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So there is going to be quite a few human beings out there that are trapped in this area. Now, the way you stay on track, again, shout outs to everybody that's following the channel, like, subscribe, hit the buttons. What we like to see right now, though, again, is this is good for ordinals. This is good for anyone who's into blockchain space, right? The SEC doesn't know that we're looking at it differently now. Obviously, they still think we're retarded. Like this is kind of dumb because it doesn't make any sense to me. It literally makes zero sense. The NSA created SHA-256, and you mean to tell me in 2024 a government sector doesn't know to use 2FA on a X account? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, I hope it doesn't make any sense to you too. But if not, if whatever, it is what it is. So now we have Bitcoin pulling back to 45, which is totally fine. This is a good thing. Again, if leverage is going to work, they're magic, and they're going to help pull us down to some of these moving averages, then this is the scenario. This is how you build that case to sell to the audience that, maybe we can go down a little bit more. And that's the crazy thing about trading. Like, I'm not a trader. We're looking at this now as like gas fees. As you can see, I've always looked at it that way, but I'm trying to really hone in on that. Like, this is a gas token, right? Same goes for your Zen and all that other stuff. Everything in crypto is just to power the server, the database, and then the network, like clarity, or like the network's popularity, is going to be based on the brand of that crypto, right? So Bitcoin being the best, the most massive, the most well-known. So this is the most expensive space in the space, as well as it's the most entertaining, and it's going to be where you want to be from like the beginning, right here, and then go backwards. So knowing that a lot of people don't really know that right now, again, this feels like 2016. Same shit was happening back then. We were going directly up. We're going literally parabolic, but you couldn't see it if you were in it. You only hear about it, right? So that's why being in it is kind of wild, because you see all the narratives coming into existence to kind of stop the momentum, right? And this is top signal to me. The SEC throwing 2FA under the bus. Come on, I ain't never seen something so ridiculous. It's fucking me up just because I like it's so apparent, man. And that's why if you haven't caught the love bug for Bitcoin yet, you gotta figure it out, man. This is literally a way for you to extend yourself away from the greater narrative and get yourself into the newest narrative that will turn into, in my opinion, it will be the greater narrative of the financial system. In general, because it's just a better accounting system. Like, look at the SEC. Here's another thing of accounting, bro. Like, you got to hold yourself accountable. Like, they're not going to hold themselves accountable for this. They're going to find somebody. They're going to do the whole Scooby-Doo thing, pull the fucking mask off. We got him, I don't even know who's going to be the fall guy. I tweeted that yesterday. I'm like, who's going to be the fall guy for this one? Because this is disgusting. So we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. But again, if you're looking to gain some bits, I still think it's an amazing time to get into Bitcoin. I still am very positive on ordinals. I've seen that Bitmaps has comfortably been holding around $200. It hasn't dropped under 200, which is okay, now it's dropped under 200. So yeah, Up until today, it's been holding a 200 range, and I mean it's not even that much lower, 180 or so. Um, this is almost half off from its all-time high. Well, it's close, but it's not all the way there. I guess this is the all-time high. What does it get? Like $370, I think. What's the all-time high? 0773. Oh, it's right here. So it's 48% from the all-time high. Yeah. So we're almost at a 50% level from when it was all the way up. So I'm keeping my eye on bitmaps. I've actually, if you've been following the channel, I sold a few at the all-time high because I was just feeling everything was there. Like people wanted to take profit, and we don't have that yet in ordinals. That's why this is a good time to get in. So what I mean by people want to take profit, ordinals are designed to give you more Bitcoins. We haven't had a world where you could use your Bitcoin to make more Bitcoin. Like the only way you could use your Bitcoins to make more Bitcoins prior to 2023 was you had to trade them, right? Traders. So that's why, in my opinion, you have the traders that exist in this arena, but the traders in this arena are slowly, they're dying out. I'm gonna keep it 100. The trader is definitely, this is a top signal for trading, in my opinion. If you're a trader in crypto, you're falling behind. You're going like backwards because now everyone in crypto is moving on to the technology portion, and even the SEC is trying to abandon you. They use the last bit of the 2FA. Like, you can't do this twice. You can only do this once. Okay, this is a one-time. They actually gave some influence here. If you're into trying to become an influencer in crypto, make sure you don't have 2FA on your account so you can get hacked, and then you can use that as your fucking excuse. And then maybe you'll blow up a little bit. Maybe you get a little bit of headline, a little bit of marketing engagement. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I ain't fucking with that shit because I'm intelligent and I'm gonna have 2FA on all my accounts. Like, come on, bro. Like, are you serious? Actually, there's if you wanted to go even more into it, 2FA key. Actually, I think it's I'm spelling it wrong. I forget the name of it, but you can get physical keys too. So yeah, let's see. Multi-factor authentication. This is something that's really big. So you want to educate yourself on this too, because if you don't educate yourself on multi-factor authentication like 2FA, and then the devices like what is the other device? Is it TL? Oh, why can't I remember this shit? Key. Yeah, fob. Key fob. Yeah, there we go. YubiKey. Free shill. The YubiKey is one of the best ones you can get out there. But long story short, you could do 2FA, but realistically, this is what you want to get. You want to get one of these bad boys, because this is ultimate security, and this is where I'm seeing, I think, a lot of things are getting ready to move to. If you're in the creative world, you know that a lot of programs already come with secure keys because they don't want people to steal them anymore. Me as a music creator, a lot of things you can't crack anymore. You used to be able to crack it like it was nothing, but now it's a lot. It takes a much more emphasis of understanding programming nowadays to hack things. You can't just like run up there and just flip some shit and hack it because of these keys. So this is something cool to look at. I think these are pretty cheap too. They're like maybe 200. Oh no, they're lower now. They're like $50. Okay, that's cool. You can get some that are expensive. But yeah, like this is a good way to protect yourself. And I believe Twitter does allow this now that the newest iPhone, so iPhone 15 has USB-C. So you can do that. And I see that it does have a lightning connector one for an iPhone. Is that what I saw? Yeah, right here. That's cool. That's hard. This is the ultimate one right here. This is the real savage key. You can't take nothing from me. But yeah, so like I'm saying, this is a super trade top in my opinion. Why in the hell did they use this and throw it under the bus? Because we all know that you're supposed to do that if you're a real tech motherfucker. So yeah, Bitcoin. I'm sorry if you're a trader. It does look like this is getting ready to come back into the hands of the BRC20 crowd. So yeah, I do say go ahead, get out there, start educating yourself about BRC20s. They're up next. They're down right now. Shit. Here, let's see which one is down for the last what's up for the last 24 hours. We got Maxi Ordinals up 200%. Blah blah blah. Dog is like Doge, but it's not. Okay. Let's see which ones are down. And the ones that count. So I really don't know what to say when you be like, which the ones are the ones that count? What I would kind of put into emphasis is if they have a market cap on CoinGecko, then they're probably helping CoinGecko index their information. So I would be going off of things like that have the highest market cap, and then intertwine that with their 24-hour volume, and then intertwine that with the price. So this one right here, Multibit, is down 33%. And Multibit is actually an exchange that is integrated like Bitcoin. And they're like working on having more and more Bitcoin related bridges for EVM. So similar to like VMPX, but in my opinion, it's much, much different, because in VMPX, we're going to be using X1 chain as our like storage unit for the exchange. Right, X1 will play a critical role in the bridging of VMPX between Ethereum and Bitcoin. So I don't really know their technology, but I do know that they have a token, and you can buy the token, and you can pretty much participate in their BRC20. So here's their diagram. Let's see how it works. Multibit simplifies the process of transferring BRC20 tokens from Bitcoin to EVM networks. Users transfer their BRC tokens to their dedicated BRC20 address, and after confirming, the tokens become available for minting on the EVM network. With Multibit, users can effortlessly bridge and mint tokens between Bitcoin and EVM network for seamless cross-chain transfers. All right, so it looks like the user makes a BRC20 on the BRC20 chain, right? They're looking for supply. So there's two users. They send it to a pool. Transaction confirms, and it mints on the other side. This sounds cool, but then this is why, again, I like the VPMX or VMPX, what the fuck? VMPX solution, because ours is like not like this. We're not minting coins on either side. The way that the one that VMPX is working is going to work is basically you have to have the same supply on both sides. It's not like you can have a growing token right now, and that's kind of the mysteriousness of it all. But I like that, and I like this too. But at the same time, I don't know how this will work, because minting new coins on the other side makes me wonder what happens if you over mint, or like what happens if the supply gets duplicates. Like that sounds like there's a lot to be discovered here. So we'll figure that part out. And that's why, again, I'm not going into Pandora's box on no new projects. I am so comfortable in the Zen ecosystem. I go around, I look for new shit, and this is how I always end up being like, I guess it's cool, but realistically, you just hold VMPX, and the devs have already created it. They're just waiting for X1 chain, right? They have these ideas, and instead of selling a website, they just got the coin out there. It's a really cool psychological marketing tool in the Zen ecosystem. Everything is just a coin out there right now, and I like that Xenify is taking that initiative as well, like just making more coins and just like having fun with it. And yeah, VMPX is going to provide that. It has the same coins on both sides, and then people can burn VMPX for XN tokens, which is going to make VMPX, number one, scarce on the market where nobody will be able to buy those coins, but it's also going to put those coins like in a vault so that there's always VMPX to transfer between ETH and Bitcoin. And that's kind of like, this is like the blueprint. So technically people should be cloning VMPX. Once it's all live, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's going to be clones. Like I might even have to do a motherfucking clone. Right? You clone this because the technology is what's going to make it easy to transfer BRC20s between the network. Sounds cool. You know, it's got good graphics. You know what I'm saying? It looks like it's on ETH and it's on Bitcoin already. Wow, it looks like you can stake it. All right, so, you know, and another thing, too, the reason why I'm showing this, and I felt comfortable showing this, is because I've actually been in spaces where I've heard the people who created this program talk. And they stumbled into this shit. They've been making things for Ethereum, and then popularity didn't happen until Bitcoin. So they're down 13% in the BRC20 zone, and I think that is opportunity. Here, let's see. Let's see. I know they have a BRC20, but let's see if this is just basing it on the Ethereum one. Yeah. This looks like it's just basing it off the ETH. Here, let's see. They have here how to get their BRC20. Maybe not. Maybe they don't have a BRC20. Let's see. Let's look into them. Do they have a BRC20? Because then that's whack. They shouldn't put them as BRC20 if they're not. Right? Like CoinGecko got to get that one together. Because this would be the op right now. But if it's on Ethereum, then I mean, I guess that's what it is. Like, but that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about just strictly Bitcoin. So fuck this one if it's not going to have a BRC20. I don't think they have a BRC20 because it doesn't have the Unistat. So yeah, here, we'll go to Unistat real quick and see. Unistat. What's up, y'all? I just been talking for like almost 30 minutes. What up, Dank? I was just looking at how fast my portfolio moved from February 21 to May 20. February 21 to May 21. I'm seeing similar metrics that y'all won't most likely miss. That y'all will most likely miss. Yeah, dude. I feel like a lot of people are missing. But yes, that's just it though. I feel like if you haven't been here before, you're gonna miss this one. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just remember when everyone was telling you you're gonna miss it. And that's kind of why I'm hoping people missing what's going on right now gives me more longevity in crypto, because the more people that miss it, the longer it's going to go, like the more stupidity is going to happen. Because the hack thing is pretty dumb, hands down. Like if you're falling for that one, you know, find truth. But yeah, they're stalling the ETF. That's kind of that's like my whole thing is like, there must be something that's on the calendar that we're not paying attention to that would lead us to the expression. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But I do feel like this is just market manipulation to buy time. Same as, because oh my god, ETH up to 24. Wow, look at that, 24.33. I saw that the gas fees on ETH were pretty crazy today. But yeah, so this is what I'm saying. There might be a little stall happening because I think they want to package some more coins into this ETF. Like just not Bitcoin. They want to package some of these other coins too into it. So you get an ETF for Ethereum, you know. But that's real hopium. I don't want to get into the political side of things, but yeah, Ethereum switched to proof of stake. So it was considered a commodity, but now it could be considered a security. So we got to see what is up with this. Because that would be my fake out narrative right now, is that like people bring up that discussion of like, well, why would I want to do spot ETF on Bitcoin? I mean, on Ethereum, when if I do it on Bitcoin, there's way more upside, right? ETH might still need to go through just a little bit more auditing, I guess you could say, by the SEC and things like that. But there's an opportunity here, and hey, what the fuck? If you're in Zen, you're good. You should have some ETH. You should have some Zen locked up in ETH. And a spot ETF coming to Ethereum is really good for the network. It's going to bring the price up, but it's also going to bring congestion, which will help people find other things. That's how I'm thinking of it. I'm like, okay, if ETH is super congested, because it's definitely not ready for mass adoption, but fuck it, right? Bitcoin is never going to be ready, but fuck it. So that's how everything is going to work. And yeah, ETH is going to bring a lot of people in because it has the juicy narrative of like being behind Bitcoin, you know, and always being the smart computer of Bitcoin, you know. So I am excited for ETH, but I just don't want to get faked out right now and then buy into this pump and then it just wreck, right? Because that's what's happening with Bitcoin. People want to pull Bitcoin back to these levels where the 72 is sitting at 40,000 and then the 200 is at 32. So majority of the community is looking here. And that's kind of why I'm thinking this was a top rally for traders, and traders are about to get wrecked, and they're getting ready to make us, the believers, say, no, Bitcoin's not going to go down, go long. And then everyone's going to take the market short. So that's what I'm saying. Don't follow what I'm saying. I'm a fucking crypto enthusiast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in this shit for a long time, not for a short time. So from someone who's been here for a while, yeah, I think a lot of people are about to get wrecked right now. But going forward, past this moment of awkwardness, a lot of people will win. And that's why it's like, yo, you should position yourself so you can scoop up some of these lows, because they literally just showed us that, yo, we're about to pull the fuck back. Like that, this is going to be some hard FUD to fight with the traders, man. Right? They about to swish, wash, whoopity, wash, wash. So my whole thing, let's turn these lines back on. We'll see you in March, bro. This is perfect. Here on the channel, we've been saying that Bitcoin should hit the 50K mark by March. We march into March. We've been doing that since August. So this is a great time for us to actually have a little bit of a pullback before we get to the zone, so that we can, again, accumulate the narrative. Accumulate the narrative. And yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing if Bitcoin pulls back right here. It's actually should help, hopefully, Zen as well. I haven't talked about Zen yet. Let's talk about it. Now, Zen, again, right now it's sitting at 38, which is cool. We've been here for a while now, though. So I want to say Zen is going to turn around, but we came up and we tested a resistance area last week. So now that Bitcoin's going to roll backwards, I'm kind of feeling like I said that like that. Now that Bitcoin's about to just go back. And again, I'm not saying that it's over. I just I am honestly thinking this was a top signal for traders. If you like making money off of people, this was it. This might be your last opportunity, because this shit's going to spot ETF, and Bitcoin's going to be leaving these shitty ass exchanges, right? American Bitcoins, I should say. American Bitcoins will be locked up in these better paying vehicles because there's more liquidity, right? So that's the scary thing. It's like, even me, it's like, damn, dude, do I put some Bitcoins in Fidelity? Like, what the fuck, you know? So, yeah, I think this is a real top signal for straight up traders, like underground ski mask traders. It's all bad for you. Your days are done. You need to get into ordinals as soon as possible, because this is where the bread will be made, right? This is the underground. This the real tunnels. Yeah, I'm sold. Like, it's the perfect narrative for Bitcoin. BlackRock comes and tries to take all the Bitcoins off the market, but then they have to take in BRC20 projects, because BRC20 projects are taking in all of the market. So it's a yin and yang tug of war of Satoshis. Will you have some for your personal family? That's the big question. Will you have some for your personal family? I don't know. But yeah, so Zen World, we're really leaning on the back of Bitcoin's success. So if Bitcoin isn't being successful, I could see us getting a little bit of a pullback. Now, I've been trying to gauge the community, and the community right now is in shambles. Now, you have a lot of people still minting XENblocks, right? XENblocks is going dumb. You know, we've reached 10 million regular blocks, which means 100 million XENM tokens have been printed. We've seen 13 million super blocks, and super blocks are coming in at around 109 every 24 hours, which actually would make it more rare than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin makes a new block or creates like a new Bitcoin every 10 minutes. So here it's creating one. Well, and then that every 10 minutes is 144 a day. So in this concept, we are at 109. So we actually are below the block production of super blocks is below the block production of a Bitcoin, making it more rare. Crazy. Fun times. But yeah, Zuni is up to 14 million have been created. That's pretty dope. It's actually more rare. Zunis are actually, yeah, like somebody was talking about this, or like, yo, Zunis are more rare than XNM for the time being, because they're going to slowly come into existence, whereas XNM is brute forced into existence. So maybe they are like catch up with each other like a couple years down the road from now, which made me bullish, because I see the Zuni token as a gas token for the network. And if we do get, if someone, I mean, it's going to be pretty cool to see what happens with the Xenium side of things, because it's proof of work. But this essentially is like a dormant blockchain inside of X1 chain, right? It's the security level layer that's going to provide that security to X1 chain to make sure that Zen is secure, XNN is secure. And, you know, rug pulls can't just happen from one angle. You know, you'd have to rug pull everything, right? And the proof of work kind of puts the cherry on top of the cake, so that you would need so much power to get into this network that you would be fighting against yourself from the way that the algorithm is set up, right? Using Argon 2, as the difficulty rises, you know, less blocks are made, but as the difficulty is risen, that means more people are joining the network. And if one person brings in more power than the network itself, essentially they're fighting against it always. And if because if they would need to keep adding as the network grows to stay in command, in a sense. It's a really cool security system of consensus going on XENblocks. So we know that this shit is happening, right? And it's securing Zen. That's why the price isn't dumping right now. But again, Zen could pull back with Bitcoin because it's too easy, right? It's too easy to pull back. And then it would be basically the traders just selling for the L. Right. This market that was created back here in October was a trader's market. So it's already retraced back to those levels. And that's why, again, I could see it breaking below this line here of 631 if Bitcoin really is pulling back right now, which I'm kind of sold on. So, yeah, so I'm like sold on like a couple of weeks of down Zen, like maybe 2 to 3 weeks of Zen being down until February. So like the remaining factor of January would be down. Now, the reason why it wouldn't go down is if this ETF stuff plays out differently, but I don't see it happening that way. For some reason, I just have this feeling that we have no control of that part of the crypto space. So we shouldn't be trying to use our energy to control it, because it's not in our control. What we do control, though, is, again, BRC20s, you know, the users. We are the movement. So if we get cheaper bits because TradFi wants to trade off to try to get lower prices so they can get more bits for BlackRock, blah, blah, blah. I'm with it. Arms wide open. And then same here for the Zen world. So if some people wanted to bring supply and dump it because they're like, oh, I want to be the last person dumping. That's what's happening in Zen. Make sure you go hit the rocket ship, man. We deserve more than 24 rockets, man. 24,000 rockets, man. Go hit the rocket. But yeah, so like looking at the factor of Zen, again, we're not going to see an influx of Zen until March, That's why, again, I could see prices going lower because there's no activity right now. And, there's no real reason for people to be, I don't know, excited. I'm excited always. But I can see why people will tell me, oh, I'm not excited about Zen. Right? Blue, 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 blue. But, again, this is the lowest area of supply for the beginning of the year. And then in March, we see an uptake. And then in July, we see the next uptake, right? Because it came in waves. If you got in early into Zen, if you're a day one minter, then this right here, this is your max mints, the very first max mints. And then this right here, this, if you're been in Zen since XeNFTs, this is the XeNFT max mint mayhem, right? So Zen is actually doing what it needs to do. People have lost interest, which means there's less coins being made. And then if gas keeps being unpredictable, which I'm so mute to it now. I'm like, yeah, this shit is too unpredictable. Like, you can't really predict what's going to happen on ETH. You just have to assume for the worst. So since it's always going to be worse over here, I do think a lot of this Zen that we see isn't going to come onto the market. So the Zen that we are seeing hitting the market is straight up people who spent a lot of money to make it, you know, and as they should. You know, if you spend, I guess, $100,000 to make Zen, now you got to get your money back. Go get your money back. But yeah, let's see here. We got one person with a Teely. 443. It's only 169 ETH. That's not that bad. You know what else is kind of crazy is ETH goes up in price, right? That means less ETH is needed to answer a big Zen sell. So that's actually pretty wild because right now we have 209 ETH. There's a lot of people banking on this narrative here. We as Zenians don't talk about it, but let's bring it into existence because we are going to benefit from it as well. Okay, so right now they're trying to do the spot ETF on ETH, and that's kind of why I'm like, yo, don't get too pulled in just yet. Like, wait for it to really be real so that you can feel it on all your Ethereum bags. Because when that spot ETF happens, if ETH were to go to $10,000, now there's enough ETH in here to facilitate a higher market cap. So it's like it's going to rise with the ETH, right? And that's what a lot of people are banking on. I learned this from Xenify because Xenify and their XNF token, what they did, or what the Simrad told me, he's a liquidity, I'm going to call him a liquidity specialist, you know what I'm saying? He is a research specialist on LPs. And that's kind of why Xenify is doing what it's doing right now, because they knew that if they had a pool, which is a protocol-owned liquidity, then that this would help trap the Ethereum in their pool for the bull market. And he said this straight up. He was like, as this pool fills up and this turns in, you know, from 100,000, right? If ETH were to 10x right now or 1,000x, right, it's gonna go to becomes $1 million. 74 ETH becomes $1 million, right? So now you have $1 million in this pool. Nobody was even thinking about it before. Like, or you know what I'm saying? Like, the supply offsets itself because it became more valuable because it's attached to the ETH, right? And a lot of people are banking on this. And this is kind of why, like, I'm gonna throw this in there for the Titan homies because I don't want y'all to drown. That's kind of why I think Jake is holding out on his Titan ETH, and it's kind of smart, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of smart. You know, if you wait a little bit and you let the price do something wild or some shit, then technically you can just start pumping the ETH while ETH is going up, and it will bring in popularity because people want the ETH. And you don't need a lot of ETH to move the price, in a sense of like supply is smaller than the worth or the amount of ETH worth, or the supply, or how do I say this? The 1 trillion is now worth so much in Zen value that they're going to dump it, or it's not, the 1 trillion Zen is worth so much in the ETH value that they're going to dump it for the ETH, which is going to help offset the charts. You feel me? So like, that's why I think having a, this vehicle attached to ETH as ETH grows in a price, and then like if you're holding your Zen or you put it in the liquidity pool, or you put it in the DBZen, you know, you're going to be feeling that benefit. So like you should be rooting for an ETF for Ethereum. You should actually be rooting for this to be a pullback to stall a little bit longer to see if they can add that Ethereum bit to the ETF concept. Because then we'll all be hitting. That's like the same thing in BRC20s, right? Like you want Bitcoin to go up in price so that your Satoshis are worth more, right? But at the same time, you want Bitcoin to go down in price because you get more Satoshis for your dollar, that form of exchange. So it's a really, really cool yin and yang thing going on in crypto right now. And if you're only focused on making money, you're gonna miss out on the supply, in my opinion. So I'm looking at Zen right now and I'm like, dude, if we can get some supply because of that, right? That's why Zen would go down. That's why this one account that has transferred $1 trillion into this wallet 3 days ago. Would you look at that from this wallet? God damn. Oh, this motherfucker for sure finna dump. Oh, they came in from Gate.io. Yeah, so they came from Gate.io. Look at that. Transferred to Billy here. They're probably gonna sell this, and that's what I'm saying. The reason why they're gonna sell it is to get the ETH. Because right now we have 200 Ethereum in here. That would be, and this is what I was saying for Zen. I was like, do we need to do what DBZen did? Because DBZen did it right, and that might have been a look into the future. And the look into the future that we have here is that DBZen went sub 10 ETH, and it went down to 2 ETH, and then it had a turnaround. So it had to get siphoned. All the ETH had to be taken out of here before the value set in. So in my opinion on Zen, we have some big ass haters out there, and they could all like start the cascade together because they want to have the ETH. And if they want to have the ETH, then they got to get it now before the price of ETH goes up, and then maybe it's harder to fill the pool up. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So this is on a fair launch theory, right? And a fair launch is a public space, which means it's allowed to go to zero for everything. Liquidity can go to zero. Price can go to zero. That's the risk of joining something so public that you didn't create. And when I say like you didn't create it, think of like Ordi and BRC20s. Like they have first movers advantage because a bunch of people that are influencers in the Bitcoin space made this. Now people who look up to those influencers, if they want to make Ordi, you had to be there with the original influencers. So you're already behind. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like how I'm seeing this Zen thing right now. It's like you have people who started the vehicle by putting in a lot of Ethereum, and now we came behind them and we're like behind them. So they have pretty much still control of the price, and they could just totally wreck it because they have the ability to, they want to, you know, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you do it? So I hope it happens. Again, lower lows in Zen is insane. And then we already know DXN is working. We already know the halvening has happened in DXN. No one's talking about the halvening in Zen world because we don't have enough supply people, right? We don't have actually enough supply charts. We don't have enough people talking about supply. And I think that's all positives, though, because, again, it's such a powerful ecosystem that the less chatter about it out there in the reality, the more supply you can scoop up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I'm excited. I think if we get a pullback, it's going to be good for teams, all teams. I missed today's DXN at $1. Damn, it dipped to $1? Close. Oh, no, I got there. So, yeah, you see in DXN right now, this is what we're going to be fighting with right now until more people hold the coins and until March. So, technically, DXN can run the same cycle that I think Bitcoin is running right now, which is the pullback, right? They're going to use ETH as a pump fake because people are too greedy. So, they're going to be like, oh, we're going to build an ETH and then we're going to go up and then just straight tank as people buy into this whole ETH ETF idea. And I can see ETH back at 1,800. That's kind of where that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at $1,800 ETH, right in this little zone. Not 1,600, but yeah, $1,800 ETH would make a lot of sense in this pullback that's probably taking place. And yeah, if we get that pullback in ETH, pullback in BTC, then definitely we should get a pullback in Zen, and we should get a pullback in everything should pull the fuck back, because the user that's thinking like how we are thinking is a small group of people, and we have a small amount of liquidity because we know it's like a cat and mouse game. Like, why would I put a bunch of thousands of dollars into this space when it's just being siphoned out, right? Like, I'll wait for it to bottom and then put in thousands of dollars. But for now, if you want to do your daily DCA, right, you just want to stay organized and on path. I still am 100%. This is a DCA range. Like, you zoom out on the the monthly, and yeah, this is still DCA. Like, don't sleep on DXN at $1.24 just because it's having a tiny pullback due to like the whole market like being manipulated, right? Don't sleep on it, because I still think DXN is a $10, $12 token. Like, I think it needs to get back up here before we start saying there's too much supply, right? We need to find out what does the new world look like, right? If we're going to finish day one, how do you say this? If you finish year one, close candle at $1.24, like let's say it ended today at $1.24, then next year, to see progress in the halvening, you would want to see the DXN price naturally rise up to $2 or $3. So you'd want to see it at $3, right? And that's worst case scenario, that it trades sideways the whole 24. None of the shit that Rosman talks about works, and they still are working on making price better, and there's a community holding the token, right? So then it's gonna get 2 times harder. By the year 3, it'd be 2 times harder. So then you would want to go from $3 to $6. And this is the slow roll, man. This is what I'm saying, like $6 just right here. So that's why I'm like, man, I don't think that's what's gonna happen here. I think, in honesty, in the way that crypto works with holders, people who use cryptos, we tend to step up, and then it finds a natural bottom between traders and holders. And I think that natural step is to $9, $10 out of this range, knowing the halvening is coming, right? And I just did the math, right? Like, knowing the halvening is coming, if this closed today, then we'd be at $3 next year. We should be, if shit's working, and everybody gets a 1x return. Yay! I turned $100 into $200. Party. Who gives a fuck, right? But that's not the goal, right? We want to make gains. So that's kind of why, again, I'm saying it would be intellectual for anyone who believed in this project to bring the price up to these levels, to trade at higher levels with cheaper coins, right? And maintain that level, knowing that it's harder to get the coins, and that's a narrative feeder that feeds the narrative over and over again, right? Have you seen what the SEC did? This is what I mean. This is a narrative feeder. All they did was feed a narrative to people, and they're eating it. Nom, 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 nom. Well, shut the fuck up now. So I'm hyped for DXN. I'm pleased. And again, what they did over here is magical. That pool got wrecked, and now it can go up. So a lot of fair launches can follow this pattern, but it's really going to be based on the community and the development. So, take that with a grain of salt. Zen is a much bigger project than DXN because it has the ideas, and DXN brings in the Zen DNA to enhance their experience. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking Zen has a further retrace to go than DXN. So almost as a Zenian, you'd want to get into DXN right now with your Zen, because it kind of compiles all of your Zen into one token in a sense. I don't know what the burn looks like here. Let's look what the burn looks like. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you want to be trying to burn your Zen right now at these lower gas times. Even though gas is high right now because everybody's on the network and everyone's back in the office. But I'm sure we'll see a repeat of natural causes here where we get back into the early wee mornings and there's some good gas for you to use the network. But here, let's look at the DBZen on ETH. Price. major corporate bankruptcies incoming, so I'm not caring about the pullback. I know what my plan is for these commodities. Yeah, I'm not worried about no pullback, bro. I'm trying to literally figure out, what do I do when it's going down? Like, what are the best plays to make sure I'm making the most out of this, right? I don't want to make more. I want to make the most with distortion right there. You know what I'm saying? I want to make the most, man. Ain't no looking back. And yeah, I think everything is subjective right now to a pullback because of this fucking tweet, man. Why did you do it, Gary? You bald fuck. He's so bald. He's mad at us. Now, how do I come to the conclusion that people will just hold the token and they'll find like a floating bottom? X1 token is the perfect example of this, because most of the people that mined this coin were Xenians that believed in Zen. And what I mean by that is, some people gamed it so that they can get as many as they could to sell them as like a free airdrop. But a lot of people did truthfully mine this coin with their gas for, you know, it's not okay. Like, it's not okay that that they took, you know, it's not okay. OKX took the X1 branding and made it in layer 2. That's going to fucking suck. Like, we all know Polygon sucks, right? Like, it's a trash chain. And they're going to use the branding of X1 chain or X1, confuse motherfuckers, with some shit, right? So it's not okay. And this coin right here is a protest coin in representation of a token against OKX. Now, like what I'm saying here is, we haven't seen a low because the people who minted the coin, they're not going to sell the coin. And everybody who flooded it in the beginning because there's a mysterious amount of coins holding, they actually flooded people. They actually did a good justice to us, because so many people left because of this idea that now X1 or Zone token has an opportunity, because again, it's creating a floating floor. It's a fair launch, and if there's no sellers selling and it's only traders trading and no one's taking the bait, and it's just traders dumping coins to get us to a base, then all those buys that come in are stabilized buys. Stabilized, my G. So I'm hyped at this one, because this is showing everybody that with a fair launch, you'll find a floor and it should flatline, right? Same with VMPX. Why does VMPX look this way? Because it was minted at 6 cents, and a lot of people believe in this shit, and they don't have the energy to sell their coins at 4 cents, because it's been removed from the like ideology of what is VMPX. Like, VMPX is not a pump and dump. VMPX is not a moon coin. VMPX is utilized utility, right? So it's up to you if you want to hold it. Now, sometimes it might get kind of low and then it might chop up, but again, that's what's cool about a fair launch. It should create a floating bottom. Zen kind of looks like this right now, but the thing of why I can't relate it in instance of like it should hold where it stands, it's because, one, there's a lot of people in the mix here that aren't like X1 coin or VMPX that believe in the project. There's a lot of people here that just want the project to be a project. Like, they don't really care for it to be up or down. Like, if it's up, that's happy. If it's down, they selling, right? So unfortunately, it looks like it could create floating bottoms, but we've learned in the past that that's not a fact. Right here in this moment, you would say that this was a bottom, but it went lower. Right? So to say that this is a bottom is kind of ignorant. Realistically, it's only a bottom if we get away from it. Like, if we get away from it, it's a bottom. I'm actually going into this future of 24 not trying to say Zen has bottomed, because I want to bring forth this concept of like, what if Zen acts like the US dollar for maybe the first 2 years for real? When we look at the dollar inflates forever. Like, it's a nonstop inflating thing in our existence. Like, we're gonna die and the dollar's still gonna be inflating. So what's cool about this chart though, that I like that somebody showed me, is that if you zoom out on 12 months, you see how like inflation has affected the dollar since the 60s and the 70s. The dollar has just never been able to find its way back up because it's always going against more dollars. And it's not like we burn dollars, right? There's not a daily dollar burn. So technically this chart is doing what it needs to do, which is always make a lower low. It should always make a lower low. So what I'm thinking of in relation to Zen, and we'll zoom out on the weekly. What if we're just going to do the same thing? Like, what if we're going to just make more lower lows until like 2026? Like just slowly every year, we're just like adding a zero down. That's some doomsday shit right there. But it's just some food for thought, because I think a lot of people think Zen is about to moon off right now, and it's really cool to see it going this direction. But I'm not motherfucking tricked, bro. Literally, I clicked on a one Tilly wallet and it had transferred funds 3 days ago. And that's typically how it goes down. It's like people start moving things around, and then as soon as gas goes up enough, they'll cause mayhem. I think like if we see another like 100 Gwei, people will probably start selling their Zen. I think Zen also, Zen is like, its massive sell-offs happen when Gwei is high, because it causes that FOMO of, I don't want to miss out of selling my position. I'll still pay the gas. It's classic FOMO. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got today. You know what I'm saying? It's Wednesday. Today is the day Hal Finn said that he was mining Bitcoin. Congratulations, Hal. R.I.P. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it, bro. Like, there's nothing else going on in the markets. Everybody's going to be fighting this concept that the shit is going down, right? And the best thing that is on our side right now is that if an ETF happens for ETH, expect this shit to get rugged. Expect anything holding Ethereum to get rugged, because everyone's going to take their ETH home. Like, oh, fuck that, right? Which is great for people in the space, because what it does, I don't want to make everyone scared or whatever, but what it does is it creates new users that come in. So if everybody that's OG, right, decides to get out of Zen and take the ETH, and they sell all their Zen and they're out, then technically we have it's like a new day is born where the liquidity can rebuild itself. And we keep going because it's a fair launch. There's no pre-allocated coins, and now we're just moving into the future with the supply switching hands between market demand and miners. So if you mine Zen and you're holding it, waiting for market demand, that's where your competition always comes into play. It's like, what's out there to make market demand? Like when X1 chain is finally rolled out, like what do you think the market demand is going to be for Zen, right? When DXN finally releases Mastodon and they have their DEX and they're burning DXN, and people realize that there's a halvening happening and there needs to be more Zen burn to fight, you know, that's another thing, you know, it's another thing that takes Zen up. What else is there? I really just think the catalyst is going to be X1 chain. A lot of Zen, I'm expecting a lot of Zen to leave planet Earth. Hands down. So I'm not betting on nothing but X1. So make sure you're in XENblocks. Set up some new nodes. Let's go. And yeah, it looks like people are turning their miners off right now or saving on money. So I got 3 running right now, and I got 2 supers in 24 hours. Yes, sir. So just keep hashing, guys. Don't stop hashing. Don't stop the hashing. And everything should work out for you. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Talk that Zen world. See what other crazy bullshit is going to happen in the reality. Hold on. Let's just check to make sure Jack didn't tweet anything while I'm sitting here on the internet. He be doing that stuff. Make sure nothing important is out there. Hey, is there anything important out there? Okay, nah, same shit. Yeah. Gary Gensler is a punk ass bitch. Peace.